Hey, it's Adele from Let's Get Inky, and today we're getting all painty in my Dina Wakeling Media Journal, and I think I may have found my unicorn of all art journal sizes. It's a funny size. It's not A4, but it's not A5. It's kind of in between. It could be, well, it's not 6 by 8 either. It might be 7 by 9, possibly, something like that. It's a fantastic size, but I do struggle with the papers, but we're getting there. We're getting through it. I'm using a Jane Davenport serviette or napkin, whatever you may call it in your country, and it's a really great way to get a background done with minimal effort, and I am all about the lazy arting and scrapping at times. This journal page took me about 50 minutes, I'd say, so I have had to super speed up some sections like this part, which is just me gluing things with matte gel medium, so you don't really need my normal speed for that. I can be a little bit super speedy. If you were a superhero, this is just a tangent, what would be your arty superpower? What do you wish you could do as an arty superpower? I wish I could look at things and have them cut themselves out. That would be a great superpower. So you could just be your own silhouette cameo machine, and you could just be like, bam, cut that die cut out, and it just cuts it out automatically. I think that would be a great superpower to have. Let me know in the comments below. I know it's a random topic, but these are the thoughts that cross my mind while I'm editing videos and doing voiceovers by myself when I'm just chilling at home. So this face on the left hand side, I actually took a fantastic little class with Zoe from Cocoa Vanilla. I'm giving you a shout out, Zoe. She's going to hate this. And she taught a great class about the different proportions of the face and how to draw a face correctly with the different quarters and eighths of the face and all of that. And this was the face that I created in that class. And I really wanted to do something with it, but I wasn't quite sure what. I really enjoy the lines of, is it Tim Holtz or Stampers Anonymous? There is a stamp set that have like the drawing lines on them as well. I've got a moustache and I've got an ink, like a quill and ink. And I love that look, kind of like a blueprint kind of look. And so I did keep the lines in, but in the end I did actually erase them, so they're in for now because I like them, but then I didn't like them at the end of it. So with this girl, I felt like she needed a flower crown because, let's be real, who doesn't need a flower crown? Some days I wish it was more acceptable in society to just rock a flower crown with your trackies and a singlet and just own it. If you're not Australian, trackies are track pants, by the way. I often forget that we have some Aussie slang that people don't know. Do you know what? The word that I must use a lot that people don't know is arvo. Arvo means afternoon. So if you ever hear me say arvo, it's Australian for afternoon. Tangent, Adele, back to focus. So we're doing our floral crown and we're using some of the Dylusions paints, and I wanted it very kind of choppy and painty, and I feel like this is a good vibe to go for if you are scared of being perfect and you don't want things to be exact. It's fun to do this kind of sloppy paintbrushy kind of look, and you'll see in a little bit by adding black and white pen it really makes it all come together. So I'm using here a different napkin. It's I think it's one that Zoe gave me. So thanks again, Zoe, extra shout out here. And I'm sticking that down and they're beautiful. It's little pink flowers on a blue and white polka dot background, which is just very, very Adele-ish. So then I'm going through my stencil folder. This is how I store my stencils. Also, let me know if you'd like to see any videos on how I store my art supplies. I have full craft room tours, but I have moved house and I've moved areas as well in my house. But I have a few videos on my main channel, Inky Quill, if you want to see some more about how I store my art supplies. And I also have quite a number of videos over on my Patreon with my new craft room setup, as well as a cleaning my craft room video, as well as an embellishment storage video. And I think there's a couple more as well. Oh, my new desk tour as well. So I will film a craft room tour for YouTube as well, but it probably won't be for a few months because I'm trying to perfect where everything is, and I'm also, Archie's very close to walking when I'm recording this, which is a little bit terrifying. Archie's my little 1-year-old, if you're new to my channel. And so things may have to change, and I don't really want to do a craft room tour until I'm sure that's where it's going to stay. So while I've been yakking on, I'm adding a bit of stenciling here, and I did speed this up 3.5 times. So that's why I don't have supersonic stenciling powers. It's just a very fast computer editing. So this would have to be one of my favorite stencils. There was a pack by, I think they're Diane Reevely ones, and she has a whole range of different figurines, and they come in 3 different sizes, which is really handy for different art journal sizes. And I'm using it with some black paint, which is typically the color that I use with these. And I'm just going around, and I know I'm covering up some of that beautiful swatch napkin in the background, but it's okay. I think it forgives me. Next up, I'm using, definitely, I think this is my favorite stencil of all time. The girl one is definitely top, let's say she's top 5, but this floral, oh boy, it gets a lot of use. And if you're a regular Let's Get Inky or Inky Quill watcher or Patreon peep, you will know that this stencil gets a whole lot of use. I don't know what brand it is, I'm sorry though, but it's a really nice one to use in the background when you want to add something, but it needs to be kind of small, because there's some really cute little florals in there that work out really nicely in the background when you've just got a little bit of space to fill up. So next I looked at my girl, and she just wasn't popping. She wasn't popping for me. So I felt like she needed something to help her out, and not just white. I felt like she needed something to tie her into that left hand side of the page. So I grabbed my Posca paint pen, which is basically the same color as that blue, that periwinkle blue on the left hand side of the page, and I just outlined her. I know she has no hair, which I wish they did have a bit of hair. That would be nice, but I think it's just the figure, which, yeah, I just realized then she doesn't have hair, but that's okay. We're rocking the short, maybe it's a pixie haircut today. And then I wanted to make her pop even more, and using a white gel pen is my favorite way to add some detail and emphasize something you've done on a black background or a dark background, using the Uniball Signo in a broad tip. And I think a great strategy to do when you're outlining something like this, I know I did it in a junk journal page because I saw it the other day when I did a girl similar to this, but if you leave a little bit of black space before you draw your white line, so in the close-ups at the end you'll see there's the blue pen, the paint pen, and then there's a tiny little slither of black background, and then I do the white. I think that's a really effective look if you're looking to try something new in your art journaling. Over on the left side here, you'll see that I've used my black food ball in 1.5 tip, and I just made some very, very messy floral boho type flowers on her hair, and then I'm very messily as well going around with my white paint pen and kind of emphasizing them a little bit. I'm not paying attention to like which direction a light source would come in. I'm kind of just going around all of the lines, and you'll see in the close-ups photos at the end what that looks like. It's very, very sketchy. So then I wanted to do a quote on this right hand side, but I didn't know what pen to use because I'd used black and white with the flowers and the background. So I'm trying a few of my paint pens to see if they work, and they just didn't pop. So I actually decided to write it in whiteout, correction fluid, and I'm just using a whiteout pen to write this nice little quote about strong women, because I felt like the rest of the page was very girly, and then this little the stenciled girl kind of looks very strong and like she's going, wow, I'm a strong woman, with her fist in the air. I'm doing that now, but you can't see what I'm doing because I'm filming a microphone part and you can't see my expression, but just imagine her being all strong and womany. Patreon peeps, you would have already seen this art journal page, because this art journal page was actually the art printable that I made for April for 2018. So if you're interested in getting that as a an art print, head over to my Patreon and you can see how you can get it. For the art print, you can access it from $8 tiers upwards. So if you pledge $8, you can get this art print for yourself. $12 has extra bonus printables every month, usually about 4 or 5 extra pages, up till like 9 or 10 extra pages of printables a month. And then for $15 you also get at least 7 to 8 videos a month as well. So I'm just adding, I felt my girl needed a little bit of brightening up. She needed a bit of makeup, so I went for a very kind of cartoony cheek. I love looking at watercolor or sketched illustrations of girls that have like really rosy cheeks. So that's what I was trying to go for. I'm trying to even up her hair, because one side is very pencily and the other side didn't have a lot. And I'm also just adding a tiny bit of contour to her cheekbones. Not that I have any clue how to contour. I have never bronzed, highlighted, contoured my face. I have no clue how to do it. I don't even wear foundation unless it's an extremely special occasion. So I put it where I imagine put together people who wear makeup and know how to do this amazing craft on their face would put it. I watch not a lot, but I do watch quite a few makeup tutorials, and I'm just in awe. It's like, how can you do that to your face when you're not looking at your face? It's just amazing. I think people who can do makeup are just, they blow my mind with their powers. But then I decided the background wasn't busy enough, so we needed to add something else. I grabbed this little stamp that I've been liking lately. It looks just like a piece of mesh. It was a very old one from Studio Calico, and I just did some of that in the background with black. And then let's busy it up a bit more and do some white paint splatters. I use my Uniball chalk texture to do my white splatters. It gets everywhere. Don't do it, peeps. If you're afraid of the mess, don't do it. And then I really do think just adding that heart to that little figurine really just finished her off, and yeah, it just made it work. I'm adding a few little pen lines to her hair, which is quite thin. I didn't really give too much thought to her hair because so much focus is on her head. But at the end of this video, I just want to give a shout out. I'm recording this mid-April, and I want to give a shout out to all of my beautiful Patreon peeps who are supporting me. You have literally changed my life. Now by supporting me on Patreon, you have let me stay at home and work from home, and it's just, I can't thank you enough. So shout out to all of you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.